then who's next?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Jason is next on the screen now, and
Okay,
then Batya,
okay,
then Amy,
yep,
then Bonnie Pollock,
okay,
then Sarah. Hi,
yep.
Michelle. Michelle just came in.
Hello.
Michelle's next, and then Masha, and then maybe
Okay.
more people coming in. But
Okay, but that'll be the
we
order for
have
now.
8.
Okay, great. So we can
Good.
just keep knowing to go round and round.
Okay,
Okay, all right, so I'll start at the top.
sure.
Deuteronomy 2:12.
Mhm.
You can now read almost every Hebrew letter in the following quote. This quote, taken from the rabbinic literature, appears on the frontispiece of the High Holy Day prayer book, Gates of Repentance.
And in English?
Okay, in English, the gates of repentance are always open.
Good. And most of this you know, but a
Okay.
couple of things you haven't learned yet, so I'll read it for you. Sha'arei teshuvah le'olam pituchin. Okay.
Just
So
that
this,
last letter we hadn't learned, right? The first letter in the last word.
that's right. That's a pay. We haven't
Mhm.
learned that yet.
Okay.
So something of interest, and particularly since so many of you are lawyers, this is from the Talmud. And so we have the Torah, the basic book of the law. We have the Nevi'im, the books of the prophets afterwards, the writings which have Psalms and Proverbs, the Ketuvim, all together making the Tanakh, mentioned that. Then the oral law was written down later as the Mishnah. The commentaries to the oral law are the Gemara, the finishing up of commentaries on, that were in the oral law and were only written down much later. And then along with stories that went along with everything in the previous writings, the Midrash, those were put together and formed the Talmud. So the Talmud, in a essentially, is a set of Jewish law books covering hundreds of years. So when you see something like this means Deuteronomy Rabbah means commentary, legal commentary on Deuteronomy, the 5th book of Moses, the last book in the Torah. And they have commentary various places in the book like this. When we get to the right letters, I will share a quote with you, which all the lawyers will know immediately. That connects us with the Hebrew. Okay, thank you. Let me continue. Vav as a prefix. Now, the letter Vav appears as a prefix attached to the beginning of a Hebrew word. This prefix can have different meanings, but a common meaning is the word and. Okay, so did they actually talk about Vav yet as a, they didn't talk about, okay. We know the Cholam, and that's a Vav with the dot on top. We know the Shuruk, that's a Vav with a dot on the side, which could also be a Dagesh. Well, the Vav also, and they didn't clearly introduce this.
Bob as a consonant on page 50.
On page 60?
On page 50?
Oh, it was mentioned. Okay.
Was Vav as a consonant?
Yes, okay, it is mentioned there. So yes, so the Vav is a V sound, and it can be used as a consonant as well as part of the vowel. Okay, so it means add, and usually when the letter Vav appears as a prefix, it is a consonant with a vowel written underneath it. Okay, so typically it has a vowel underneath. So let's see. Why don't we have Jason? Why don't you read that line underneath the paragraph I read?
Hebrew or English?
That's
Hebrew or English?
Oh no, in the Hebrew.
The Hebrew. V'shabak.
Good.
V'shalom.
Mm-hmm.
V'shamru.
Right.
Ve'lohe.
Mm-hmm.
V'shem.
Good. Okay. So Batya, now you have a challenge here. I'm going to ask you to translate each of those words.
Okay. Veshalom. Oh, Veshabbat is and Shabbat.
Right?
Veshalom is and peace or
Good.
completeness.
Mhm.
Veshamru. All of us will do something. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Shamar is to
Oh.
guard, to protect.
That's right. All of us will observe the Sabbath.
Right.
Velohe.
Now this, you may not know everything, but try.
Elohe is the name for God. So is it and something to do with God?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we didn't actually learn the last part yet. This is something for people to jot down. It's on one of my sheets, I think one that I sent to you. Velo he is and God of. The A at the end is a suffix meaning of. I think I've talked before, I'll get to you in a second, Bonnie, that's called a construct, a noun of something. So Velo he is and God of. Yes, Bonnie.
So are we supposed to be like, I wasn't sure, I wasn't aware that we were supposed to be like memorizing and knowing the vocabulary. I thought that that was just for, our own, edification when you said this word is this. Because
Well,
I'm trying to focus on learning the language first before the
Yeah.
vocabulary.
The book, if these are words that are in the book over here, pretty much we've had, they discuss them in the book, so they should all be familiar to you. People aren't going to learn all the vocabulary. I'm trying to include as much as possible, so because people tend to want to learn what things mean. If that's not as important to do, that's okay. But I'm trying to encourage you to learn things. So Batya actually, knew just about everything so far. And if that's
Yeah.
not as important with you, it's okay.
Yeah, it's important to me. So maybe there's a balance there somewhere
Yeah.
that we can all have some satisfaction with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's important to me too. I really, it's meaningful to me to learn the vocabulary.
Well, I just asked if anybody has a vocabulary list, if you could send it
Oh.
to me and I'll start picking it up.
Okay. Let me address that issue exactly. I had a little session with Adam a while back for half an hour. He asked if I could help, with reading and everything, and so he suggested it would be really nice if I had a vocabulary list that I could give to the class. I don't have one put together. However, we have a week and a half off, so before the next class, I'm going to try to spend an hour or two putting together a list, and then I'll send that to people before we have the next class, so you can look at it. And I mean, it's a bit time consuming, but I could put a bunch of words there that can be useful to you.
And if it would be helpful, Ron, I would be willing to help. So if that would make the time shorter to do it together.
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't know.
Let me see how it works out. I know having some time without class, I'll be able to do that. So,
Oh, duh.
so Batya, the last word.
Vashem.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess it's and something to do with the name.
Right, and the name.
Okay.
Good, excellent. Okay. Now, let me continue. In certain instances, however, the prefix vav will appear as the vowel, the shuruk. Okay, there are actually, the prefix and has many different forms. It can have a patak, a kametz, a segol, it could be a shuruk. In such cases, a word begins with a vowel and that is not preceded by a consonant. Read aloud the examples below. So this is very unusual because the shuruk is a vowel, and it's very unusual to start any word with a vowel. This may be the only example of that. And so let's see, we're up to Amy. Why don't you read that line? I'm trying to keep people on a little bit more because it was suggested that might go more smoothly. So Amy, why don't you read the whole line?
Okay. Uvein,
Mm-hmm.
uvaruch,
Right.
uvracha,
Mm-hmm.
Umoshe,
Good.
Uchetavtam.
Excellent. Absolutely. Okay, very good. The something in addition, I think we started, I'd made reference to this the last time. If you have a strong prefix, and U would be a strong prefix, as if you remember my chart, you have strong and soft vowels. So the kibbutz would be a soft vowel, the shuruk would be a strong vowel. If it's added to a word that starts with a shava, that you pronounce that as a shava na. You don't. The most correct pronunciation is to say u, and then the word as it would be without the prefix. Also, if you have a separate thing, I didn't actually separate these. If the first letter of the word that you add u to has a dagesh in it, that dagesh will disappear. So the first word over there, without the u, it's bain. Bain means between. If you put the strong vowel u in front of it, the dagesh drops. We haven't learned the vet yet, but the vet is the same letter pronounced as a V if it doesn't have a dagesh. So bain, between, becomes u vein and between. Everybody follow me?
Yeah, we did learn the vet though.
Right. So there were two issues there. So that you drop the dagesh if it's a strong vowel in front of it, and also if you add a prefix, you keep the sound of the shva. Okay.
So Ron, I'm
Yes.
sorry, just on that first one where you're saying if you have a strong vowel sound like ooh at the beginning,
Right.
then you're keeping the schwa. So can you do the last word again?
Yes. So that's just like Amy had done. Uchetav tam.
Okay.
Now, you're not going to really be wrong if you say uchtav tam, but the more correct pronunciation is to maintain the integrity of the shva.
So they're
Uchetav
separated. So
tam.
it's
Yeah.
ukh. Okay.
Uchetav tam. So that goes, we haven't learned this yet, but that goes for any strong prefix. If you have la, you would do that. If you have ba, if you have ha, any of these things will, you maintain the integrity of the shva. Okay? Okay, so let's see. Bonnie, why don't you read the next paragraph in English?
Okay, I don't think I was up next in the list, but I can.
Oh, I'm sorry. On my computer, yes. So who was?
I don't know. I had Bonnie next after
Yeah.
Amy.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
You have to have all the names.
Oh, okay.
You come after-
Sorry. In this chapter, 4 new vowel symbols are introduced. 2 of them represent sounds that are identical to other vowels you've already learned. The other 2 represent 1 new vowel sound that can be written in 2 ways, either as a single symbol beneath the Hebrew letter or as symbols written both beneath and to the left of the Hebrew letter. But Ron says, no, they are not both E. One is an I.
Right. And it actually explains that in the book. Again, we're talking about regional variations. So you can say it as E if you want to, but I prefer.
No, we are trying to learn it correctly.
Okay.
We went over this in study group, Ron. We're going to
Yes.
try to do it the hard way.
Okay.
So the sharik with no yud is I,
Right.
and the sharik, what is it?
Yeah, right. Let me go through the names of it. Did we actually cover this at one point, maybe briefly? I think maybe we did. The first one is called a chataf patach. Chataf sort of means like half. Chat, and it's spelled out. Chataf patach. Chataf. Chataf patach. Okay, and it sounds just like a regular patach. Ah. Okay. The next one, given the similarity, anybody want to guess what the name of the second vowel is?
Hataf Sego?
Yeah. What was that?
Hataf Sego?
Yes, that's correct. Chatav segol, exactly. And that too is eh. It's no different than a full segol. Chataf patach, chataf segol. Okay, here's a rule in your grammar section that I want you to note. Not that important, but it's important. To me, it's important. A chataf vowel will never be accented. So a letter with a chataf vowel will never be an accented syllable. So if you're tempted to accent something with a chataf segol or chataf patach, the accent is not on that syllable. Okay, make a note of that.
So Ron, question.
Yes,
A double patach shifts the accent to the first letter.
yes.
Does the same thing occur with a double chataf patach or a patach and a chataf patach?
I don't think so. I don't think that follows. I think it's just the full patach. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty much 98, 99% sure of that. I think it's just those two other ones so far, not with the chataf letters, because again, you wouldn't have if we shifted back, you wouldn't have an accent if one of them is chataf vowel. The third one is called chirik, 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 and that's some do it as e, and some do it as I. And when I started teaching, the first book I learned, shifted it to I, and I followed that, because the fourth one, that's a chirik malay. We've heard the word malay before. It means full or complete. So the chirik is preferably I, although it's acceptable to say E. The chirik malay is a full long E. Now, what you have to the left of that they haven't taught that yet. That's a yud. It can be a consonant. It's a Y sound. We'll get to it eventually. But when you have that, the yud following a chirik, the vowel is the combination of the chirik and the yud, making it chirik malay, and a full E sound. Now, not true if the yud has a vowel attached to it. If it has no vowel, it's part of the chirik malay. Everybody good? Antonio, hello.
Yeah, just a question. I just mentioned in an email to you about the noticing of the chataf patach.
Yes.
And you mentioned it in class. I don't remember what you said to tell me you were going to mention something about you said something in class. You said to bring up in class. I don't remember why though. You remember? In the Hanukkah had the chataf patach.
So it may have been the fact that that's never an accented syllable. That
okay, maybe that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so everybody familiar with these now a little bit? Good. Okay. So the turn to page, hold your place. We're going to, in a minute, go to page 54. I'm looking for where they have, oh, here it is. On 57, we went through this the last time, they introduced the vet, which is the same as the bet without the dagesh. And it also has the vav. So the vet is very easy to write, just no dagesh. The vav is a line, just like you would have in a shuruk or in a cholam. It's a vertical line within your two lines. Everybody see that? Okay, so it would be like, I'll write this down. Basically like this. A vertical line from top to bottom. Make sure you don't go below the line, because that's going to be another final vowel. Okay, final letter. Okay, so now let's go back. Okay, Sarah, why don't you read the top of page 54. So this is a note to clarify information about the vowels we just learned.
Okay. Within the system of Sephardic Hebrew, there are some variations in pronunciation. One of these variations concerns the pronunciation of the vowel chirik.
Right.
In America, most treat the vowel chirik as identical in sound to the vowel chirik Malay, just as is indicated in the chart above. In Israel, however, the vowel chirik is often pronounced as a shorter vowel sound than the vowel chirik Malay, like the short I sound in fit instead of the long E sound in feet.
Good. So I've heard it the other way around, that in the Western countries it's more and it's stronger in Israel. So I'm not sure, which place is more common, but I would say the regular chirik. I think it sounds better as an e, and the chirik Malay is a full e. Okay, Michelle, why don't you read the next thing about the chataf vowels?
The vowels, am I unmuted? Yes. The vowels chataf patach, I love that.
Good.
And chataf segal are almost identical in sound to the vowels. Oh, ask me the names of them. Jeez, I have to look at my cheat sheet. Patach and segal, respectively. They are formed by combining the patach and the segal vowels with the shva vowel. You will see these combination vowels used under the silent letters Alef and ayin.
Right.
And the guttural letter, I'm just going to say cha. Has it got a name?
Chet is the name.
Chet. I'm sorry. And the letter hey. And the letter hey. Okay.
Good. Okay. So Masha, why don't so basically they sound the same and they don't take an accent, but otherwise there's no real difference. And the shva, I'm trying to think. We didn't really go into the shva yet, did we?
Oh,
No, we did. Oh, we did go into the shva.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Got that. So we talked about the shva na and the shva nach. Okay. And
Fun with shva.
that's right. And I sent the rules out. Okay, we're good with that. Now, let's see. So we're up to Masha. Why don't you? We're going to have some practice reading now. Read all of line A. This will give you a chance to, and then we're each going to take a whole line.
Right. B, li, mi, ri, vi, ni, chi, vi, ti, he.
Good. And so you see the Aleph there. It's unusual. Like the hey, well, hey at the end, could occur there at the end of the word. Hey is silent is the last letter, and Aleph can be a last letter also, which similarly is silent. It's like it's not there, but it actually is. One note about that: usually words that end in Aleph are derived from Aramaic rather than Hebrew, and so some prayers you'll see a number of words that end in an Aleph. Those are Aramaic words. Yes, Antonio.
Yes, two questions. Just can you repeat the pronunciation for the last one that ends with Aleph?
I'm sorry, repeat what?
Can you just repeat the last pronunciation? The he, I don't know, the Aleph. How does it sound?
Oh, the last word, he.
It's just he, so the Aleph doesn't pronounce. And the other thing is, all of these have a yud, I see. And if the yud weren't there, would it change the pronunciation, or would it be the exact same pronunciation?
Well, if the yud wasn't there, it would be softened to he. And with the yud there, it's part of the longer vowel, the chirik Malay, and it would be e. So the yud together with the chirik make it a full e instead of an is sound. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Well, Antonio, you're next. Line B.
So you were saying with the yud, it's the short e or the long e?
The Charik Malay is E, that's the long E. The
Long E.
Charik by itself without the Yud is E.
Is it? Okay, so these are long. Okay, so the rest
Okay.
will be, I'm assuming Shin.
Yes.
Okay, Bin.
Try that again.
Sorry, Tin.
Right.
Then we have Vin.
Say it
No,
again.
no. Oh God, that's a chet. Hin.
That's right.
Okay. Then we have ayin. Im.
Right.
Him.
Right.
Lim.
Right.
Livre.
Correct.
Okay. And the last one is going to be Rich.
Good.
Okay.
With the guttural race. Thank you, Antonio. Let's see. Laurie, up to you, line C.
Okay. Tari,
Right.
Bali,
Mm-hmm.
Shavi,
Right.
Vani,
Yes.
Vai,
Yes.
Ani.
Good. So I have to I have to pause for just 1 second there. That's an important word. Ani is I, capital I.
Okay.
No,
So
referring
that's
to yourself.
ani.
Ani is I. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
Ani, and then Ami.
Good. So
Oh,
that's
no,
it. I
Amit.
would.
Amit.
That's right.
Amit.
That's not a word. I don't think you would see anything ending that way. It's a syllable, but that's how you would pronounce it. That's right,
Amit.
Laurie.
Okay. And then Ha-Hi.
Good. Excellent. Thank you, Laurie. Jason, line D.
D. Bish,
Right?
Lish,
Yes?
Nish,
Yes?
Niva,
The schwa at the end of the word, silent. So,
Niv,
niv, exactly.
Tiv, Kiv, Kin, Rin,
Oh,
Lin,
third from the last.
Chin.
No, that's a vav,
Oh,
not
it's above.
not a nun sofit. You can on line F, you'll see a nun sofit, and you see it goes below the line.
Below the line. Got
Right.
it.
So
Kin, Rin, Lin.
good. Thank you,
Read.
Jason. Batya, line E.
Hamor.
That's right. Chamor is mentioned in one of the stories in, I believe it is in Numbers, Bamidbar, the story of Bilam and his donkey. Chamor is a donkey.
Very useful word.
Not a word you're gonna use that often, but when it comes around July, and if you're listening to a drash, that'll be mentioned.
Himor.
Mm-hmm.
Hanoch.
Good.
Hatoch.
Right.
Aluma.
Yes.
And halom.
Good. Aluma. Just have to. You don't have to write this down, but aluma. If those of you who are familiar with Birkat Hamazon, the blessing after meals, grace after meals, if it's a Shabbat or Yom Tov, you add the singing of a psalm before that, and the end of that psalm ends with the a possessive form. This word aluma is a sheaf of wheat. A sheaf of wheat. Christians have taken that psalm and sing it in English. Bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves. Aluma is a sheaf of wheat. Alumot is the plural. Okay, and the last word, chalom, that's an important word. Not necessarily used all the time, but chalom is a dream, And you hear that in Bereshit, the first book of the Bible, Joseph and his dreams. Halom, his dream. Halomim is the plural. Okay, F. So we're up to Batya, right? Yeah.
I just went the previous
So I think
line.
it's Bonnie. Bonnie?
Amy,
Amy,
Oh, Amy. Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Amy. Okay.
No, it's okay. Line F.
Line F. Mm-hmm.
Okay. LA.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so here's an example. So that's a chataf vowel. It would definitely be LA. I'm talking about the accent.
Okay, sorry. Would you remind me if it's
If it's a chataf vowel, it's never the accented syllable. So you wouldn't have LA. You would have LA.
LA? Okay. Elul.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes, but I don't know why.
It's the last Hebrew month before the high holidays, the month of Elul. Bonnie, is that meaningful to you, Elul? I thought maybe your birthday was in Elul. Okay. Yes. Next.
Emul.
Right.
Emun.
Right.
Emunah.
Really important word. Emunah is faith. Faith. Faith.
And emunat.
That's a variation of that. Faith of. But faith is important. Emunah is an important word. Excellent. Thank you, Amy. Now, Bonnie, line G.
Ehav,
Yes.
Le'ehov,
Good.
Ehevvi,
Yes.
Te'ehavi,
Mm-hmm.
Ahava.
Ahava. Okay. And why don't, since you read that lesson, why don't you read the next line and the Hebrew word again?
Sure. The last word you read on the line above is another basic Hebrew vocabulary word, ahava, meaning love.
Mm-hmm.
Many prayers and biblical passages speak of God's love for us and our obligation to love one another.
Okay. And the second part of the Shema, the declaration of faith, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. It's in the morning service and the evening service. So that's just the first part. Then the second part is Ve'ahavta. The third part is V'haya Im Shemoa. And the fourth part is Vayomer. So the second part, we all sing together whenever with trope, actually. And Ve'ahavta is Ahav is in the is in there as a root, and that is and you shall love, the command. Okay, important part of our liturgy. Okay, let's see, Sarah, why don't you read the top parts on page 55. This is one of the things about roots, and this is the root Ahav.
okay, the word ahava comes from the root, I guess, Alef, Hey, Vet, which has the basic meaning of love or affection. The root ahav appears in the well-known biblical quote, which I can't read.
Which is
You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Right, and in Hebrew it's ve'ahavta l'reyecha kamocha. Good. Okay, so I'll read the next thing as long as you.
Okay. The following are other Hebrew words formed from the root ahav. You can now read all the letters and vowels that appear in these words.
Okay, so Michelle, well, I'm going to read the English and you read the Hebrew word. Okay.
Okay.
Lover. That's a good word to know.
Oh, hey.
Good.
Have. I'm sorry. Oh, have.
Oh, I thought that's what you said the first time.
Yeah, no.
Sweetheart or beloved. I'm not sure how that's different than lover, but.
Hove.
Right. Suitor or lover?
Ma, ma,
Little,
ma,
a little softer on the first vowel.
yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
Ma'ahav, wait, ma, ma'ahev,
That's correct.
ma'ahev,
Me'ahev. Mhm.
ma'ahev.
The mem as a prefix often is a more advanced form of the verb connoting action. So a suitor is is a pursuer of love, and the mem connotes that in Hebrew. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Flirtation.
Okay.
Now this is a few syllables.
I looked at it before, but I don't know if I got it right. I wrote have the having, have the having.
Close.
Uh,
Ahav. Okay, so that's a silent schwa.
having.
Ahav havim.
Havim. Vahim.
No, the hey and the vet are the syllable. Okay,
Okay.
so have vim. Those are the four syllables. Everybody say that. Let's everybody.
Okay.
Have vim.
Havim.
One more time. Have vim. Good. It takes time with longer words. This is a 4-syllable word. Ahav havim.
Havim. Okay.
Good. That's exactly
More.
right,
Okay.
Michelle. Philanderer.
Oh. Ahavach. 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 I don't know what it-
Ahavan. That's a nun sofit.
Oh, that's a non. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. Ahavan. Oh, God.
So that's
I feel like
interesting.
a 4-year-old. Yeah.
It's funny. Now, philanderer, that has a connotation of a man who would do that. But interestingly, the use of a nun sofit usually is feminine. So that's strange, I gotta say. Okay. And the last one, enamored or lovesick.
See, that's tricky. Ma'ohav.
Me'ohav. Correct.
Ma'ohav.
Yeah, you got it.
Ma'ohav. Okay.
Good,
Thank you.
Michelle. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to. This was part of the homework, I believe, where you circled the roots of Ahav. Okay, Masha, why don't you read the top paragraph?
The following are prayer book excerpts that contain words from the root ahavat. You may already be familiar with the words or melodies of these prayers, though this book has not yet introduced some of the Hebrew letters and vowels appearing in them. Perhaps your teacher or a friend can read or sing these prayer book excerpts to you.
I'll probably do it with one of them. Okay, Antonio, the next small paragraph.
Yes. Try to find the root ahavat in each excerpt.
Ahav is what?
Just ahav. There's
Yeah.
no okay, ahav. Ahav in each excerpt. The number of occurrences of the root in each excerpt is indicated in parentheses. In most cases, prefixes and suffixes are attached, and in some case, the vowel is it shuruk?
No, not Shuruk.
It's no.
Yes, you started it right. Starts with
Halamale. No.
Holam. Yes, that's good.
Okay, holum appears between two root letters.
Okay, so why don't you do the first one?
No. It's too much. I can do the first three. It's just I can try that.
We're not reading it. We just tell me which word has the root I have.
So the first one.
Yes. You're saying it's the first word, correct?
Yes, the first word, yes.
That's correct. Good. So this is what I mentioned before from the beginning of the Shema. So let me, so just so you hear what it sounds like when you sing it with trope, this is how it goes. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha. Very nice, smooth flow. That's what you get to do after a few years of study. If you're going to be in the Bar Mitzvah class, you will learn all of those tropes as well as your basic Hebrew. Okay, thank you. Lori, there are two occurrences in the Shabbat Kiddush. Tell me the line and which number word on each line.
Sure. There's one in the second line, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth word.
Four, let's see, four. Yes. Be'ahava. Good.
And
And
then
the
the
other one?
other one is in 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line, third word.
Yes. And it's the same thing. Be'ahava, with love. Good. Excellent. Thank you, Lori. Jason, ahavat olam.
About 4 occurrences. All right. So the first word, Havat.
Right.
Olam, Beit Yisrael, and then the last word in the first line, Ahavta.
Yes. Yes.
The first word in the second line,
Mm-hmm.
V'havetecha.
Yes, it's a silent shva. Ve'ahavatcha.
V'havatcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the last one?
And then the last one is in the third line, first word, Ohev.
That's right. Okay. So I think most people know Ahavat Olam. That's the second blessing before the Shema. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Ahavta. Goes on from there. Okay, Ahava Rabbah, the next one is in the morning service. It's also the second prayer before the Shema. Okay, so Batya, that has 5 occurrences. Why don't you tell me where they are? And you should be circling all these.
The first sentence, the first word.
That's right.
Ahava.
Yes.
The first sentence, the third word.
That's correct.
Ahavtanu.
Good.
And then the third sentence, the first word.
Mm-hmm.
Le'ahava.
Right. So that's the prefix to love, to love. Right.
And the last word. Ve'ahav. Wait. Ve'ahav. Hava.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's one more.
Oh, yes, sorry. The line before that, the second word in.
Right, and that's the same thing.
Be'ahava.
So that with, in this case, in this case, with love. Very good. Okay. Now we're so I'd ask everybody to fill out their bets and vavs. And if you put that to the screen, actually you can all put it up at the same time. I was thinking, good and close. Okay, Lori, a little closer. Good. Let's see. Now yours, yes. Good. Okay. Amy.
Can't tell if I'm doing it in the right place.
Yes, that's Vet. Good. Bonnie's good. Sarah, a little higher, Sarah. Good. Batya's good. Michelle's good. Okay. Masha, Antonio. Okay, so that you have yes, you have block and yeah, Masha. I didn't see it. Sorry. Yes, fine. Okay, good. Everybody's good. All right. Now, so the exercises I had you do for homework, so we can just rattle these off right now. We're up to, let's see, is it Amy or Bonnie?
It's me.
Yeah.
See me.
Okay, so we're drawing a line connecting the Hebrew consonant and vowel combination with the English word. Okay, so well, we'll start on the left. So just tell me if it's 1, 2, 3. Behave, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
It's the fourth one. Then knave is the third Hebrew word.
Yes,
Move is the second, and kneel
Mhm.
is the first.
that's correct. Okay, so that's using the harder E, Neil.
Nil.
I would have read it nil, which they could have said NIL. Okay, Bonnie, the second, the ones on the right. Why don't you do that in the same way? Shave.
Yeah, shave is the third,
Mm-hmm.
vote is the fourth,
Right.
vain is the second, and
Mm-hmm.
grove is the first.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Let's see. Oh, so here, you know what? We'll wait. So just put your for this bunch. Why don't you put your books up and see if we generally have the right idea? Okay. Okay, let's Lori a little closer. Yes. So eel. Yeah, I see. Okay, that's good.
Well,
That-
but Ron, I have to say that I did this exercise before you told us the rule that was different than the book. So
Right.
I was writing it out as if you could say E 2 different ways. But if I
Right.
went back and did it again,
Yeah.
I would change them all. And for some of them, there would only be one way to do it, not.
Well, I
two.
think the book intends for you to do ill and eel. I think the same way because they're looking at it the same. So that's either way, good. That's fine. Let's see, Michelle, you had yours up there a bit. Let's just taking a quick look.
I was just trying to
Good.
get my,
Looks
okay,
good.
thank you.
Let's see, Amy, Bonnie, anybody?
Sorry, Ron.
Oh, you didn't do it. That's okay. Do it before the next time, just for your own practice. Good. Masha, a little closer, Masha, and a little closer, Antonio. Let's see. Oh, a little closer, Masha. It's a little small. Sorry. Good. Okay. And Antonio, I just wanted to see something in yours was okay. First one. I was just curious. The first thing for sheet, what I didn't recognize.
I put a shin and a tet.
Oh, which we haven't learned yet.
Oh, all I know there's another one. Okay, so the other one would be tav, I guess. if you use-
Right. Again, they were going for the Greek and the Greek Malay. Okay, good. All right. If you haven't done those, just do it next time. You should have everything in the book filled in, I think. Okay. So now I'll trust that you did the same thing at the top of the next page, and we'll go on to some more reading. Following reading practice focuses on look-alike letters that can be easily confused, and guaranteed in every class there's going to be some problem with that because there's so many letters are similar. Okay, so read each combination aloud. So let's see. Yes, I said to hold. Amy, did you read or did I tell you to hold?
I don't remember, but I did. I matched some of the Hebrew letters with the English words. You want me to-
Okay. Well, why don't you read line A? Let's see how that goes.
Okay. Bish, vish, fish, nish, vish, Vash, Van, Nan.
Excellent. Okay, good. Bonnie, how about the second one? Line B.
Avan,
Right.
Anan,
Yes.
Achan,
Mm-hmm.
Avan,
Yes.
Avav,
Good.
Achav, Anav.
Good. One word I want to, on that line, I want you to make a note of. The second word, anan. Anan is a cloud. A cloud. That does appear in prayer. One of my favorite prayers in the prayer book, Elohe Oz. It's a beautiful prayer. Look it up. You'll soon be able to read everything. Okay. Sarah, line C.
Hova,
Mm-hmm.
Chova, Hova,
Mm-hmm.
Hocha,
Right.
Tocha, Chav, Chan.
Excellent. Let's see, line D. Masha, you're in a different position.
Bray,
Mm-hmm.
Ve, Beche, Bene,
Children of.
Beve, Bete, Beche.
Good. Line E, Antonio.
I'm sorry, I didn't get for this for homework, so I don't
Oh,
want to.
this is just reading now.
Okay. Yeah, but you're supposed to read it. So it would be the first one is a tum.
Yes.
The next one is kum.
Mm-hmm.
Chum. Sorry.
Right.
Okay, and the third one is, gosh, it has it on the top. Chum.
Correct your vowel.
It's not a cholam.
It is, but I don't. But I didn't hear it like a column.
Okay.
Say it again.
Chum.
Well, I would say home.
Home.
Whereas I would be a patach or
I'm reading
a.
wrong. I'm reading my chart. I'm reading my cheat sheet wrong. Okay, it's home.
Oh, okay. It's home.
Home. Okay. All right. Then we have again. It's going to be home.
That's right.
And then we're going to have a next inside it. So that's going to be an u. Whom.
Right.
Okay. Then we have a tom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a ho. No ha. No, sorry, ta.
Right.
Tavam. No, tavem.
Tavem. That's right. You corrected it.
Right.
Good. Thank you, Antonio. Michelle, line F.
Okie dokie. A hole,
Yes.
a bowl,
Right.
a knoll,
Right.
a noon,
Okay. Look at the last vowel again.
a known.
And known. Right.
A known.
Same vav, but the dot's on top instead of in the middle. Mhm.
Yeah. A vavoon.
Same problem.
Vavon.
Evon. Good.
Oh, a bone. Oh, yeah, I say, yeah, a bone. Okay. A no.
Right.
A no.
And Noach. That's a biblical character before the flood. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Let's see. Lori,
Okay,
line G.
all right. Aviv,
Yeah.
Me.
So say it with the correct accent.
So back to the first one. Aviv.
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 Right. Like Tel Aviv. Aviv is spring, the season of the year. Tel Aviv is Spring Hill.
Okay.
Aviv is, that's an important word to know, spring. Okay, next.
Aniv.
Yes.
Achiv.
Mm-hmm.
Keen.
Right.
Vin.
Right.
Vich.
Good. Okay, good. Jason, line H.
Vahul. Vahul. No, Vahul.
Right.
Vatul.
With a chet, right. Mm-hmm.
Vatul.
Mm-hmm.
Vabul.
Mm-hmm.
Vakul. Vavul.
Mm-hmm.
Vanu.
Good. Thank you. And Batya, line I.
Ime,
What's the last syllable?
bimeha? No, just bime.
Bimeh. I wasn't sure if you said eh. That's why I asked you to repeat it. Bimeh.
Thank
That's
you.
correct.
Bime. Vime,
Mm-hmm.
chime,
Mm-hmm.
nime,
Right.
vime,
Mm-hmm.
vime.
Good. Okay. So, Amy, why don't you read the next paragraph on page 59 on top?
Okay. Many Hebrew words are part of the vocabulary of those who live a Jewish life. Hebrew names and words for ritual objects, holiday, and traditional practices are often familiar even to those who think they know no Hebrew. Starting with this chapter, every chapter will include a list of such words. Try to read the Hebrew first and see if you recognize the word before looking at the English translation.
Okay, good. So, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's take 5 of those. Okay, so
Okay.
look, cover up the left side. See if you can figure this out. Read the Hebrew.
Tel Aviv, the city.
And it actually says Hill of Spring, which is what I just mentioned. Good.
Abraham, the name.
Abraham, right?
Aharon, Aaron, I presume.
Yes, that's Aaron.
Ulav, it's what you use on Sukkot,
That's right. It's a palm branch.
right? And Shavuot, the holiday.
Yes, but it also means weeks. Shavua is 1 week. It's a feminine word. Shavuot is a plural, means weeks. It's a holiday because it is 7 full weeks after Pesach. And that's the tradition. Okay. That's 5. Okay, Bonnie, your turn.
Okay. Halacha,
Good.
I don't know what that means.
Halacha is Jewish law.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mishnah,
Right, I mentioned that before.
right.
It's the first part of the Talmud.
Right.
It's the oral law that was written down by the rabbis in 200 before Common Era till 200 Common Era.
And that's a good example of the I instead of the E. It's not Mishnah.
Exactly.
Mishnah.
Exactly. That's why the same thing with like Yisrael,
Right.
Israel.
And the next one too is
Yes, exactly.
Shiva.
Read the next one.
Shiva.
Right. Right. We don't say Shiva.
Right.
We don't say Shiva. So that's why I think it sounds more typical and familiar to use the as a softer I sound. Good. So Shiva is 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
It becomes from the word Sheva, which is the number 7, and which you sit on the floor for 7 days of mourning. Good. Next one.
Shabbat Shuva.
Right. We talked about Shuva before.
And
Do you know what Shabbat Shuva is?
Well, I do now, the Shabbat that falls between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur,
That's right. That's supposed to be the
the holiest Shabbat, right?
yes. Well, no, it's a Shabbat when you have a very, very special drash. Shabbat Hagadol, which is just before Pesach, and Shabbat Shuvah between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the two times when you have the most significant drash. So if you want to go to synagogue to hear a good sermon, those are the two times of the year you're likely to get something that's special. And the last one,
Is Berit Milah,
do you know what that is?
the bris.
That's right. So that comes from the Ashkenazi Hebrew. You think of bris because they pronounce it berit,
Right.
but berit milah. No, berit means covenant. Milah is the circumcision. And I think I mentioned you once before. Does anybody remember what the name of the United States is in Hebrew? Yes, Amy.
Artsata Brit.
Arzot Habrit, right. The lands of the covenant. Okay. And what's the covenant? Everybody.
The Torah, the law.
No, this is the United States, not Israel. What's the covenant?
Constitution.
What was that?
I don't know.
No, I think you said it right.
The Constitution?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting thing how
Yeah.
how that formed. Yes, we are the lands of the covenant. Yes, Antonio.
Just a quick question, observation. I think when what was going on with Shavuot, I noticed that the last letter in the word is you're putting a sav there rather than a tav. I would have
Right.
was as in the Ashkenazi pronunciation if they didn't put the digression for it there.
So the Ashkenazim, if you use that dialect, it was they would probably, well, the Hebrew should be Shavuos and in Yiddish it's Shavuos, with accent previously. But again, it's something that you say at the end of the Sabbath. If you go to a Havdalah service to separate the Sabbath from the beginning of the week, the greeting after you do the rituals is Shavua Tov. Good week. Shavua meaning week.
Right.
So that's a good word to know. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, more reading. Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, Bonnie was the last reader, right? Okay. So Sarah, read aloud the following letter and vowel combination. So we're doing some more reading here. Why don't you take line A?
Umi,
Mm-hmm.
umin,
Mm-hmm.
ume,
Right.
uve,
Right.
ubain,
Try that again.
ubin, sorry.
No,
Oh,
it was A,
no.
but I thought I heard a bet instead of a vet. Maybe I'm wrong.
You did, uvain.
Uvain, which means the same as ubain, but that's a case of the strong vowel dropping forcing the dagesh to drop. Again, bain means between. If you have an u, it becomes uvain, which means and between.
Okay.
Same thing with the next word.
Uvne,
Right, uvene. You pronounce that shva because u is a prefix. Again, that's
Uvene.
and children of, or and sons of.
okay, and ure,
So here
Ure.
too, if you have a prefix u and the next letter has a shva, this is shva na.
so ure, u,
You're
having
close.
trouble with. Ure,
No, u is correct. Now then, there's really two syllables there. U.
re,
That's
U-
it.
ure,
Ure. Mm-hmm. That means
Ure.
and look. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Masha, line B.
Okay, va'ani.
Yes. Now, do you remember I defined that before? You remember what that word should mean then?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Okay. And I.
And I. Va'ari,
Mm-hmm.
Va'ali,
Right.
Ve'emet.
Good. Okay, so I haven't told you
Ve'emet.
that. Yeah, anybody, Masha, do you have an idea what that might mean?
It's clearly from something very familiar, but I don't know what it means.
Okay, anybody else want to take a guess? Oh, Batya and Jason, both of you. Either one.
And truth.
That's right. That's right. Okay, good. And so, Masha, continue.
Yeah. Ve'eret
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, ve'eret, because you
ve'eret.
don't want to accent the chatav segel.
Got it. Okay. Ve'eret and then ve'ali.
Ve'eli. Good. That would be and my God. You don't have to write it down. Okay, Antonio, line C.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it would be a havo. No, havu. God, to you.
Change your second vowel.
Okay. Sorry. It's a chirik. Can't remember if that's the short or the long one. Chavi.
Chavi, right. That's the longer one.
Okay.
Chirik malay.
Okay. Hari.
Yes.
Okay. Hare. Hare.
That's right.
Okay. Are.
Mm-hmm.
Am. Amame.
Correct the last vowel.
Amami.
Amami. That's correct.
Okay. And it would be ane.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is going to be ani.
Right. So that sounds just like ani with an aleph, which means I, but it's a totally different word, even though it sounds exactly the same, different root. Okay. Thanks, Antonio. Michelle, you're up with line D.
Ta'ava.
Good.
Ahava.
So that's
Ahava.
right. So that's the key word.
Ahava.
Ahava.
Ahava. Oh, ahava. Okay.
Yeah. You wouldn't accent it on the hey because it has a chatav vowel. Ahava, and that means I
All
mentioned
right. Ahava.
that's love.
Means, love. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
All these relate to that actually, to love.
Okay, let's see now. We got vat.
Good. Yes. Ta'avat.
I'm telling you, 4 years old. Ta'avan.
Yes.
Vote. Vote.
Yes. So that's a little tricky when you have the vav as a consonant and then you have the cholam right afterwards as a vowel.
Yeah.
Ta'avot. It's exactly right. Thank you, Michelle. Lori,
you.
line E.
Okay. Me'une. Me'ule.
Okay. The first one, say it again.
Me'une.
Softer on the last vowel. Eh.
Ma'une.
Me'une.
Ma'une. Yes.
Me'une. Good. Okay.
Ma'une. Ma'ule.
Right.
Ma'ube.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'uberet.
Accent.
Right. Ma'uberet.
That's right. You have a double segol there. And that's always a feminine word. Uveret. Good.
And then ma'unan.
Excellent. Thank you, Lori. Jason, line F.
Ne'elam,
Mm-hmm.
Ne'eman,
Right.
Ne'ehav,
Right.
Ne'ekol, Ne'echol.
I think you're saying ne'echal, right?
Yes, Ne'echal.
Okay, I wasn't sure of the last vowel.
Now I'm saying that. Ne'enash,
That's right. Okay, thank you, Jason. G, Batya.
Ma'avar,
Right.
ma'alal,
Mm-hmm.
ma'ana,
Right.
ma'arav,
Yes.
ma'arach.
Right. Excellent. These words are getting longer, you notice. Amy, line H.
Okay. Chavur,
Yes.
Chavura,
I'm sure you've all heard of Chavura. That's a friendship group or friendship.
Chavula,
Mm-hmm.
Chavulim.
Right. I lost a syllable there technically through the. Say it again. The last one.
Chavule.
Chavule. Good. Sometimes the computer skips a note. Thank you, Amy. Bonnie, line I.
Boche,
Mm-hmm.
Bochim,
Mm-hmm.
Hochim,
Yes.
Hovil,
Yes.
Ho'il.
Excellent. Okay, good. So now, well, let's see, I think we'll have time to finish the page. Read aloud the following words and phrases taken from the prayer book. So presumably you can read all the letters here, hopefully. Okay, Sarah, why don't you begin with the Baruch Hu, line A.
Aho. I can't read the ones with the two yuds.
I'm sorry, you can't read what?
The word with the two yuds.
The
third word.
That's a reference to God. You say Adonai.
Adonai. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Baruch Hu et Adonai Vron.
Try it again.
Hama
Right.
Varan.
That's a Chaf Sofit.
Varach. Okay.
Hamavorach.
Sorry.
That's the call to worship. Good. Okay, Masha, the next one. This is the ending of the Ma'ariv Aravim. Line B.
Can you also give the homework? Because I'm going to have to drop off right
What was
after
that?
I read.
What
Would
was
you
that?
mind also just telling us what the homework is? I'll have to drop off right after I read.
Oh, okay. Yes, so let's see. Oh boy. My goodness. With a new chapter, you know what? Really not a good place for homework. I would say take a look at the next chapter, chapter 7, and just do some reading there. Familiarize yourself with it, so we can go into that the next time. Because there are no exercises before that. You'll be off for 2 weeks. Just read some of the words out loud and look at some of the new stuff. And I think that'll be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Baruch Ata, what was this? Et?
And now you say Adonai.
Oh, Adonai. Okay. Hama Rav, Arav, Reeve, Hama Ariv.
Hamariv, right?
I see how there's a dead giveaway in the name. Hama Ariv, Aravim.
Good, good. Antonio, line C.
Got a long one. Can I pass? I'm gonna pass.
Sure, that's fine. Michelle, you up for line?
Okay, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You could tell I go to service.
Yeah. See how that helps?
Well, yes, I tell you, in the Siddur, when I saw the chirik and I said, oh, look at that. I never saw those dots before. Okay.
Mhm.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei.
Mhm.
I don't go to Havdalah though. Ray.
Okay, so work on your oohs and ahs, Michelle. Okay, I see that's
Ray.
that's right.
Ha'esh.
Ha'esh. Right, that's flame.
Ray.
Me'ore ha'esh, who creates the lights of fire. Good, Michelle. Okay, we have
Light.
D for Lori.
Okay.
So they left off what you can't do.
Okay. Asher Bahar Bachar Banu.
Okay, so those two words happen to be mil el. There's no way you would know that. So it's Asher Bachar Banu.
Banu.
And the same thing for the next word. It's mil el.
Okay.
Next two words.
So Vanatan.
Vinatan.
Lanu.
No, you had the first time. Lanu.
Et Torato.
Good. So that's from the Torah blessing beforehand. Okay, good. Jason, line E.
Shir liyom hashabbat l'shimcha el yom.
Good. That's from the Sabbath Psalm on Friday night. Thanks, Jason. Batya, line F.
Veshiv techa.
Good.
Beve etcha.
It's mil el.
Beve techa.
Good.
Uv lechta. Uv lechta. Uv.
Take your time.
Uv velech.
That's right. Uvelechtecha. Everybody. Uvelechtecha. Okay, very good. And the last word?
Okay, I'm going to say that word one more time. Uvelechtecha.
Good.
Uchtav tam.
Okay, so u is a prefix. You pronounce that shvanach. U.
Uchtav tam.
Uchetav tam. Okay, and you will write. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy.
Okay. Birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'ne'emata.
Perfect, except for one syllable. The last word. Try that last word again.
V'nehemata.
It's a chet. You got to do the ch.
I'm sorry. V'nehemata.
Right. Did you do that? I didn't hear the ch. I heard a hey instead.
I don't know. Maybe I did the hay.
Okay. But nechemata. And you have the right accents and everything. Thanks, Amy. Bonnie, the last one.
Let's practice.
Baricha.
No, that would be if it had a kametz, but it's a shva at the end.
Oh, Barich.
Right,
Barichu.
right.
Ve'imru.
That's right,
Amen.
right. So Baruch is a little different than Baruch because it's Aramaic. It's Aramaic. That's from most of those are from the Kaddish. All those are Aramaic. If you notice on line G, remember I said Aleph at the end of the word instead of a hey is a clue that it's a Aramaic. Look at that line. 1, 2, 3, 4 words, all 4, and an Aleph instead of hey. So the Kaddish was written later than many other things at a time when Aramaic was a standard language. Much of the Talmud also. Hebrew is earlier one. Okay, well we'll finish the last page next time. You could read that for homework too. Just we'll go over it in class. It's just something interesting, and I will sing a little bit for you next time. But yeah, I would say just look ahead at chapter 7, get familiar, read a few words there, and don't stress out. Have a
Study group
good
is
New
going
Year.
to tackle chapter 7.
Good.
We are. We're going to come back as chapter 7 experts.
I am just so amazed. With kids, it's like pulling teeth. I mean, but even with adults, half the time, it's so hard to get motivated. And all of you are amazing. You're spending time and you're having fun doing it. And everybody's doing really well. This is a lot of learning here. You'll see as we go along. There are all sorts of stuff, and I'll be teaching the next class, so you'll have me into the late winter anyway. Thank you.
You know yet when we sign up for that class?
I think you'll definitely get an email. Jesse can answer that question. He's here listening in. Jesse, when do they sign up? Do you know?
Hi. So sign up for next semester?
Yep.
Question. So we don't yet have registration form for next semester, but we should be hopefully announcing something in the new year. And it's looking like the next semester will be beginning in March, I believe, potentially with some intersession classes happening in January and February.
Excellent.
But everyone here is on the mailing list, so I absolutely will contact everyone as soon as I have more information.
Good.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to them and see, maybe we'll even start a little earlier if everybody is willing. Got till 7:30 to ask questions. Anything you like, please, if you want to hang on. Thank you, Jesse.
Go. Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome.
Best Sunday.
Thank you. There was a lot of stuff in this, so everybody fairly clear on the new vowels and everything. Good.
I have a question, Ron, about
Yes.
the suffix of, and I can't find the second word, but one of the words was emunat, emunat,
Yes.
and that was faith of, and
Yes.
but the suffix for the other word was different, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm trying. This in the last exercise. I remember that also. I'm trying to look for it.
I just wondered if one was male and female, or
Yeah, I
why.
could definitely tell you. Oh, was it on this last exercise?
I thought so. I
Or
thought
maybe
it was.
I know they had Emunah previously. Oh, well,
Oh, here, I got it. Page 52, letter N.
52. Okay.
Maybe it's B'nai, children of. I don't know if
letter
that was it.
N.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first one, B'nai. The A at the end is a construct meaning of, and that's from Bain. So it's children of or sons of.
So I guess I was just curious why the of takes on different forms.
That's a grammatical form in it's on one of my sheets. Some words, usually the masculine singular words, just use the noun without a suffix, but the feminine singular usually ends in at, and the masculine plural usually ends in a, and the feminine plural ends in ote. So that's on one of my sheets. I think I sent to you. Let me see which one it is.
I don't think we have that. Does anyone? do
What
we
was
have-
that, Amy?
I don't think we have that sheet. Does anyone?
No.
Maybe not. So,
I
oh,
don't.
okay. That's a sheet that has prefixes on it. You know what? Let me take this and I'll send it to you. Yeah, because I have a box there which shows everything. And I can, this sheet says Hebrew nouns on top, singular and plural. The construct case, meaning noun of, and then I have all sorts of Hebrew prefixes, the and various prepositions. So I'll leave this.
That
And
would
I'll
be
se-
useful.
We'd love to have that.
you do have that?
No, we don't.
Love to have it.
So okay, so yeah, so that's something. I'll send it to you, and you can play around with it. There's a lot of stuff on here, some subtleties for prefixes. You'll learn a lot from this sheet. I didn't send it out yet because we haven't really done that in the book. But if you like it, by all means, that'll be something to play with during the break. So good.
Thank you, Ron.
All
You're
right, thank
welcome.
you, Ron.
Patient
All
with
right.
us. Yeah.
Any other questions? I still have time. No more.
No,
Cloud
No.
Christmas.
Thank you. So
All right.
have a happy
a-
holiday,
Have a
everybody.
nice break.
thank you. You too.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you. Okay. Be well, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Remember,
Be well
that's
also.
2 weeks from now, Tuesday, same time. Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Thank
Laila
you.
Tov
Bye-bye.
Talmidim.
Lila Tov More.
Violet.
Good.